Okay, on to part 3 here. Here I want to find a rule again, but here we're going to find it from a graph that's been given to us. So if we're going to go about doing this, we're going to be using, just label it, we're going to use stat again to get the rule. So this time I'm going to go into stat. And remember, in stat we can put in pairs of points, so we need x's and y's. And if you want to clear out what's in there already, if you arrow over one, you can hit delete A for delete all. Say yes. And we can say delete A and yes again. Or you can delete them one by one. But we're going to go into stat, and then we need to enter points. Remember, it's always x first, then y. A lot of you guys get that confused, so always x first in this column, and then y in that column. So, that's our start. We need to enter some points. For linear graphs, you only need 2 points. And for quadratics, you need 3. So if you can find 3 on any graph, go for it. And we want to make sure here that we're picking off a point that we can read really accurately on the grid. So for instance, this one here I can tell goes exactly through that point, which is going to be at 0 and 1. Just to double check the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that works. So that's 0, 1. You don't have to write it on there, but it might help you not get them confused as you put them in. So 0, 1. And another point that I can use, if I go along and look at this, again I'm looking for points that fall right on the crosses. Looks like there's one there. And that looks like it's 1 and 5. So x, 1, y is 5. So 1, 5. And for a straight line that would be enough, but we can just take a look to see if there's another one we can pick off that's nice and accurate here. So looks like there's another good one here. And that one's at 2, 9. So 2 and 9. Now once you have your points entered, you need to go and look for the menu that says, in this time, calc. Oops, we don't want calc. We're going to go like before, graph, graph 1, calc, and here just double check it. That still looks like a straight line, which is what I have, so calc. And this is a straight line like before, so for linears you're going to use the x, F2. And here we can get our rule out of this again. So y is going to be equal to, a is 4, so y is equal to 4x plus 1, and double check your r squared value as 1. So here, for rule A, we're going to have y is equal to 4x plus 1. But double checking this here, my y, my context here, putting it into context, instead of using y, I'm going to use m is equal to 4p plus 1, using the context that they've been given on the graph. So go into stat, enter your points, same as before, graph, graph 1, and then calc. And remember, for the linears, you guys might have an extra button that says, after you hit x, that says y equals ax plus b, that you have to hit one more time. And always x first and then y into stat. Okay. So that's not too bad. We can do this other red line real quick for finding the rule. This is for equation, or for rule B. So picking points off of here, that looks like a good one. And this one here also looks like a good one. And that one there. So I've got 0, 15. Again, x first, so x is 0, y is 15. I now have 2, 14. and 4, comma 13. So if I want to go to put those in my calculator, you can just hit delete to get rid of them. I've got 0. Sometimes I just enter in the x's first, 0, 2, and 4. Arrow over and put in the paired up y's. That way you don't have to skip back and forth between them over and over again. So here I've got 15, 14, and 13. So graph 1 looks kind of like a straight line going down. Calc, straight line is x. And there I see my rule. So my rule here is going to be y is equal to negative 0.5 x plus 15. Watch for those negative signs in there. And into context, m is equal to negative 0.5 p plus 15. And looking at C here, that kind of looks like a parabola. So I need to pick off some points like we've been doing. That looks like a good one, 0, 10. This one I used before, the 1, 5, that still looks pretty good, so I'm going to use that one again. I'm going down. Another good pair up seems to be right here. And that's at 3, 1. So over 3, up 1. Going along, just if I wanted to pick off another one out here, I could use 6, 10. So going back, putting in my appropriate points, 0 and 10. Then I had 1 and 5, and 3 and 1, and that should be enough there. We could stop there, but I'm just going to go ahead and put in that fourth point because we have it 6 and 10. So carrying on, graph 1, stop and look here. That looks kind of right. It looks like it'll make a U shape in there. Calc. Now this is a quadratic, I'm assuming, from the looks of it. So I'm going to use x squared. And double checking here, I notice I get an r squared value of 1, so that's a good sign. And I'm going to write my equation. So C is equal to, for equation C, sorry, we have y is equal to 1x squared minus 6x, because it's a negative 6, plus 10. That's my rule. Putting it into context, m is equal to x squared. You don't have to write the 1. Sorry, it should be a p squared. You don't have to write the 1, but you can, but I'll leave it off. M is equal to p squared minus 6p plus 10 for my rule. Okay. Now, I'm going to leave the solution to part D off of here, and you can come back and watch that in the exponential series because it's an exponential rule. So I'll let you guys come back to that if you're ready for it after you've revised all the linears and quads. We can't use the calculator for that one, you've got to do that one by hand, so I'll do that again at some other point.